email landed in my inbox like a lightning bolt. Invitation, Beyoncé Renaissance World Tour auditions. My heart hammered against my ribs. This was it, the dream. Every pirouette, every 8 count, every drop of sweat had led to this. Subscribe my channel for more stories. I poured every ounce of my soul into that audition. And a week later, another email arrived. Congratulations, welcome to the team. I screamed, I cried. I was going to dance for the queen. Rehearsals were grueling, a relentless cycle of perfection. 12-hour days, muscles screaming, but none of us cared. We were part of something monumental. Beyoncé herself was a force of nature, demanding, precise, but with a warmth that made you want to push past your limits for her. Subscribe my channel for more stories. The first few weeks were a blur of choreography and costume fittings. Everything was immaculate, from the Swarovski crystals sewn onto our bodysuits to the precise angle of the stage lights. It was a well-oiled, billion-dollar machine. But then, the strange things started. Small things at first. A prop misplaced. A lighting cue just a fraction of a second off. We'd chalk it up to exhaustion. Then, during a late-night run-through of Alien Superstar, the massive LED screen behind us flickered. Subscribe my channel for more stories. For a split second, the glittering galaxy animation was replaced by a pattern I couldn't describe. It was like staring into a kaleidoscope of broken glass and static. Geometric shapes that seemed to twist and writhe in ways that made my head ache. It was gone as fast as it appeared. The tech crew apologized, blaming a power surge. We all just shook our heads and kept dancing. A few days later, one of the other dancers, a girl named Maya, started acting weird. She was one of the best, her movements fluid and sharp. But she began missing steps, her eyes darting towards the darkest corners of the rehearsal space. She whispered about seeing things in the mirrors, when the lights were low, a flicker of movement that wasn't a reflection. It's like there's someone else in the room, she told me, her voice trembling, dancing with us, but wrong. I told her she was just tired, that the pressure was getting to her. One wish I had listened. The next day, Maya was gone. The official story was a family emergency. Her replacement was flown in within hours, a dancer who learned the choreography with an unsettling speed. No one spoke of Maya again. It was like she was erased. That night, I was practicing alone in one of the smaller studios. As I moved through the steps, I caught it in the mirror. A shadow, superimposed over my own reflection. It was tall, impossibly thin, its limbs moving in mimicry of mine, but they were too long, bending at angles a human body couldn't. It had no face, just a smooth, blank void where features should have been. I froze, my blood turning to ice. My reflection was still, but the shadow behind it tilted its head. I bolted from the room, not daring to look back. I tried to tell the tour manager, but he just gave me a tired smile and told me to get more sleep. He handed me a small, unmarked bottle of pills, saying they'd help with the stress. I threw them away. I knew I wasn't crazy. I started paying closer attention, and I realized I wasn't the only one. Dancers would flinch at nothing, stare at empty spaces. I saw the same fear I felt reflected in their eyes. We were all seeing it. The thing in the mirrors. The extra shadow in the spotlight. The whisper that wasn't part of the backing track. The premiere of the show in Stockholm arrived. The energy backstage was electric, a mix of pure adrenaline and a quiet, unspoken terror. As we took our positions for the opening number, the lights dimmed. The roar of the crowd was deafening, but under it, I heard a low hum, a frequency that vibrated through the floor and into my bones. Then, the music hit. We moved a single organism under the blinding lights, and I saw them. They were on stage with us, dozens of them. They looked like us, wore our costumes, but they were off. Their smiles were too wide, their eyes empty and black. They moved in perfect sync, but their movements were impossibly fluid, unnaturally graceful. They were the dancers from the mirrors. The crowd cheered, oblivious. They couldn't see the seams, the slight wrongness of it all. They just saw the spectacle. They saw Beyoncé, a radiant, untouchable goddess at the center of it all, and her flawless legion of dancers. During a quick change, I grabbed another dancer, Kevin. "You see them, right?" I hissed. He nodded, his face pale and slick with sweat. "Don't look at them for too long," he whispered. "Just do the steps. Do the steps and don't break formation." It was a silent agreement that spread through the original dancers. We danced our hearts out, our real human bodies straining, while these copies moved around us like elegant, horrifying puppets. The most terrifying moment came during the ballad. Beyoncé stood alone in a single spotlight, her voice soaring through the stadium. Behind her, in the deep shadows of the stage, I saw them, the tall, faceless figures from the rehearsal studio. They weren't dancing. They were just standing there, watching. And I swear, I saw Beyoncé glance back, just for a fraction of a second. There was no fear in her eyes. There was acknowledgement, understanding, as if they belonged there, as if they were part of the performance. It hit me then. This wasn't a haunting. This wasn't an accident. This was part of the show. The perfection, the impossible flawlessness wasn't just hard work. It was something else. Something we were brought in to legitimize, to provide a human cover for. We were the veil, hiding the thing that wasn't supposed to exist. The thing that made the Renaissance tour more than just a concert, but a true, otherworldly spectacle. I finished the tour. I did the steps. I smiled for the cameras and never broke formation. I collected my paycheck and signed the lifetime non-disclosure agreement. Others weren't so lucky. A few more dancers left, citing injuries or exhaustion. They were replaced just as quickly. No one ever spoke of them again. I don't dance professionally anymore. I can't. Sometimes, when I pass a building with mirrored windows, I hurry by.